It has been a while.
One-timer, a shot, and a score! How did he save that?
Another year of New England Hockey Journal is here.
Doesn't work going half speed.
Join us as we lace them up again. New England Hockey Journal starts
right in the back of the net, first of hopefully many.
Right now. Hello again and welcome to show number 1 of another season of New England Hockey Journal. I'm Evan Marinofsky. Locally, much has happened since champions were crowned last spring. In Hockey East, we saw Boston University freshman sensation Macklin Celebrini leave ComAv after just 1 year for the NHL. But not before winning the Hobey Baker Award as college hockey's best player, as well as being selected as the top overall pick in June's NHL draft. We also saw national champion runner-up Boston College lose 2 big guns in Will Smith and Cutter Gauthier to the NHL. On the prep school scene, there's a new bench boss at Cushing Academy who has a very familiar surname.
Just want our kids to be in the present moment and just focus on the task at hand, whether that, I know it's a lot of cliches, but I truly mean it, that the present moment is so important. If we could take care of the little things, the winning hockey habits on a day-to-day basis, then, the rest takes care of itself.
Ryan Bork, son of Ray, takes over for Paul Pearl, left to be the athletic director at Dexter Southfield. On the high school level, St. John's Prep comes in as the MIAA Division I boys champs, and with us to talk high school hockey is Paul McNamara from MyHockey Live. Paul, what's up?
Hey Evan, great to be here. Always a pleasure looking at the hockey season only a month away.
It is an exciting time for sure. Last time we were doing high school hockey, St. John's Prep, controversial win in the Division I state final, scored, they called it a buzzer beater. Might have been a little bit after the buzzer, but focus on this year. Can St. John's Prep repeat?
Well, they can repeat. That was a great win for them in the Garden. It goes in the books as a win, despite what happened. The goal did count, and they're the winners. So, great run by Winchester. We'll talk a little bit about them. But St. John's definitely can repeat. There are 4 or 5 teams that would be no surprise if they are in the Garden on the mid-March Sunday, along with St. John's or between 2 other teams.
Yeah, and I want to get into some of those other teams. Who are some of the teams you're looking at as the biggest threats to St. John's Prep repeating?
Well, like everybody, the Prep lost a lot of players, but they've got a great goalie leading the charge this year, AJ Farisi. He was their goaltender last year, and he's back as a senior, and they'll build around him on the rebuild, but the program is deep. Pope Francis, Xaverian, CM, those are the Catholic teams. Arlington and Hingham, the way we look at it now, are the top 2 public teams that we probably want to talk about today.
Yes, and we will get to those. Pope Francis is a really interesting one because Brian Foley missed last year. Now he's back. They're always deep. What's your read on the Cardinals?
They are going to be deep. Coach Foley thinks he's got his first 3 lines set and thinks there might be a battle for 4th line. He wants to play 4 lines. He wants to skate 7 defensemen every game, and they've got a terrific goalie too, Nick Ritchie, who's been a 3-year starter and a state champ 2 years ago. They are going to be tough, Pope.
Yeah, they're always tough, and Nick Ritchie, as we remember 2 years ago, with such a heroic run to help Pope Francis win the state championship. Catholic Conference teams, Xaverian, CM, what are you seeing from those teams?
I think Xaverian is, Coach Spinelli and his staff is quietly optimistic. They lost a couple of kids through transfer. They had terrific leadership last year with captains Jack O'Neill and Jesse Peck, who are gone, obviously. But they've got a good crew of seniors that have been longtime starters. Devin Goziak, Jackson Morse, Mike McGrath, Nate Patch. That's the leadership team at Xaverian. They're going to do very well. They do miss goalie Cole Poulier-Porter, who was one of the best in the state. He graduated, now playing at Tilton. But Xaverian will be there. CM is always there. They're always a little bit of a mystery at the beginning of the year. Coach Rooney does a great job to put the team together. They seem to lose kids to prep school, but they rebuild. Good program. Depth is there too.
Yeah, those teams are always in it for the Catholic school teams, but you also have publics. And to me, and I think to you too, Arlington and Hingham look like the 2 best publics opening the season.
Yeah, Hingham is going to be good. Again, they lost a couple of kids to graduation, but also the transfer portal, as we say. Yes. They've got a good goalie coming back, Mike Caro, and they've got some couple of good defensemen, despite losing some defensemen, and they've got a terrific group of forwards. They're kind of like the old BC team, small but really quick forwards who can put the puck in the net. Hingham will be good. Arlington, Coach Missouri always comes in the season saying, oh, we're not going to win a game, or we're going to be 500. Don't listen to it, boys.
He loves doing that.
Coach Missouri's been at it a long time, 2-time state champ, and he knows what he's doing. He plays a lot of kids early. They get in the game. He'll play all the way down, seniors to freshmen. His son, JP Missouri, is one of the best in the state, and he'll be leading the charge on the offense for Arlington High.
Yeah, and I think another interesting part of that Arlington team is Nolan Russell, who's probably going to play with JP Missouri.
Great young player.
Kurt back on the back end, who's a really big, good young defenseman. And then you sort of have that next tier of teams. I would say like 7 through 13. They're right at, they're kind of top 10 fringe. Who are you looking at in that group?
Well, in the publics, you got Marshfield, you got Reading, you got Franklin. All those teams lost some key guys to graduation, but they refilled. Archbishop Williams on the Catholic side, St. John's of Shrewsbury on the Catholic side. Two teams that might be top 10 teams. They've got some key guys, and they're building on very good years last year as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fascinating what happens with that. And Paul, I appreciate you coming in. I'm sure we'll see you and hear you quite a bit down the road because Paul is with My Hockey Live, which offers the only dynamic and interactive live stream broadcasting services for high schools in Massachusetts and prep schools throughout New England. Coverage includes sports and events, enabling families, fans, and alumni to watch their favorite teams anytime and from anywhere. When we return, we'll talk prep school hockey with the Journal's Patrick Donnelly. And we'll meet a couple of Hockey East freshmen already making an impact.
You're coming in here and it's a new group of guys and everything, and just making sure you're gelling well with the team and all the little things there.
We have a lot of fun here at BU, and it's whenever you get to come into the rink, it's enjoyable.
Next, when New England Hockey Journal continues. New England Hockey Journal's Rinkwise podcast, hosted by me, Evan Marinofsky, is the hockey podcast for serious hockey players and their supporters to help guide them throughout their hockey careers with interviews and insight from some of the biggest names in the game. Download Rinkwise today wherever you get your podcasts or listen at hockeyjournal.com/podcast. Boston College and Boston University, longtime rivals, similar in many ways. Last year, both went to the Frozen Four. Over the summer, each team lost 2 of their big guns to the NHL. This year, each team hopes to fill some of that lost offense with a highly touted freshman.
Yzerman comes right in and scores!
Stieg on the far circle, goes to Perreault, bad shot, score!
Freshmen both, Boston College forward James Higgins and BU forward Cole Yzerman. Both come to Boston after spending time as teammates with the U.S. National Team Development Program, putting up lofty numbers along the way.
James Higgins, he's on the board in Finland. It's 3-0. Jamming away, Yzerman scores, second of the game.
This year, a new team, and each is ready to go.
This place is so nice, walking around, going to classes, you're getting a great education, and, you're able to play for, a great team, and, there's nothing better.
You obviously never know what college is like, and then you get here and you're with a group of guys that are great, and you're in Boston, the city, and, you got the campus and stuff like that makes here so special, and I'm enjoying it so much.
Both Higgins and Yzerman are just 18 years old, but they already have caught the attention of several.
We've certainly seen what he does very, very well, and that's put the puck in the back of the net.
Green steals it, far circle, Yzerman, a blast and a goal! Cole Yzerman!
Through the team's first 7 games, Yzerman lit the lamp 5 times.
Very, very competitive kid, loves winning. I've been getting really close with him, so it's great having him here.
And there it is. Take a snapshot of that moment, Eagles fans.
At Chestnut Hill, similar accolades are being tossed Higgins' way.
James is a real cerebral player. He's got a great skill set and great edges, very, very good laterally on the ice, but he's got a complete game.
Higgins was tied for the team lead in scoring with 10 points through their first 6 games.
He's playing in that top line with Leno and Gabo, and he's fit right in there, so he'll only continue to kind of grow throughout the season.
Despite their credentials and incoming reputation, they each know that there's always work to be done.
I think just little things on the ice, like, stick position, being in the defensive zone, being, smart line changes, stuff that's going to help the team win. And when you get older, those stuff is more important, and those things are going to bite you if you don't do them well.
Be a person that the coach could rely on when you're out there in the D zone. You want to be able to take care of both ends and making sure that you're smart with the puck. Doing the right things, making sure you're not costing the team any goals, all the little things like that.
Hagens and the Eagles were preseason picks to win Hockey East. But as BC and the rest of the conference knows, there are no easy nights in Hockey East.
The Boston College Eagles are Hockey East champions.
When the college hockey season began, it made perfect sense to ask, who could knock off Boston College? After all, the Eagles won Hockey East last year and nearly ran the table in the national tournament before losing in the title game to Denver. But the Eagles lost two big guns over the summer, as the NHL claimed Will Smith and Cutter Gauthier. Sure, Ryan Leonard, Gabe Perreault, and Jacob Fowler remain, and adding James Hagens from the National Team Development Program doesn't hurt. But it's a new season, and nothing is guaranteed.
We know our league is deep, top to bottom, so we know that you can't look past anybody. You have to come out and be ready to play and be as sharp as you can every night.
Those words can be heard across town at Boston University.
I think our guys understand that there's no easy nights, and that's the expectation in this league, and I think our guys will understand that pretty quickly.
The Terriers also took a hit over the summer, losing two of their big weapons from a year ago, as Macklin Celebrini and Lane Hudson left ComAv for the NHL. Can an incoming freshman fill that void?
Gets it up for a shot and a goal! Cole Eiserman from the front.
We're going to play for that old school Terrier hockey where it's we're going to put the puck in the back of the net, but we're also going to play hard and physical.
After the Terriers and Eagles, who knows? And isn't that always the case? Maine had its best Hockey East season in more than a decade, went to the national tournament, and was unbeaten this year in its first 7 games. UMass Lowell finished last in the conference last year, but won 5 of its first 6 this year. Providence and UConn also got off to decent starts this year.
What a start.
One of the hardest conferences in college hockey. No easy nights.
UConn's a much improved team. It was a tough matchup for us, our first Hockey East game, so I think our guys understand that.
The same could be said on the women's side. UConn won its first Hockey East crown last year. Who could forget that dramatic moment?
There's the shot, and they score!
UConn is favored to repeat. The Huskies won their first 5 conference games this year. Northeastern, winners of 6 straight Hockey East titles before last year, looks to rebound. Boston University won 6 of their first 7. Again, who knows? It's still early, and it's still anybody's year.
I think on any given night, if you're asleep, you're going to lose some points. And you just have to be on. You have to be consistent. You have to be grounded. You got to be in the present moment and just stay where you're at. Like, if you're looking ahead, you're going to be in trouble. And if you're not willing to do the preparation Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then it's you're making it harder on yourself.
When we come back on New England Hockey Journal, we turn our attention to the prep schools with a focus on the girls. That's next. For over 50 years, Laura Stam Power Skating has been training hockey players to skate faster, more powerfully, and more efficiently. Visit laurastam.com to learn more about their programs throughout North America and to register for their summer hockey clinics. Last season, the Kimball Union boys hockey team left the ice as the NEPSAC Elite 8 champions, beating top-ranked Cushing for the title. Other winners in the NEPSAC that day were Kent, taking home the large school crown, and Canterbury winning the small school title. On the girls' side, Nobles completed an undefeated season with their Elite 8 title win. BB&N and New Hampton also took home division titles. And as we look ahead at the girls' prep season, we welcome in Patrick Donnelly from New England Hockey Journal. Patrick, thanks for visiting today.
Thanks for having me.
So last year, exciting finish. Nobles wins it all. The big question everybody's asking, can they repeat?
I think they can. You know, they lost one top 6 forward, but bring back a lot of firepower. You got your top 2 centers, Callie Brown, Greta Hulbig, Molly McCurtain on the left wing as well. The question marks are on D and in net. You know, graduated one of the best goalies in the NEPSAC last year, but Tom Reeser's confident, Annie Spring and Anika Jonas kind of in a tandem situation entering the year. and they reloaded a lot on D after losing 4 college commits. One of the players they bring in is Ava DeCourcy from Tilton, really productive defender her first 2 seasons. So they're in a good spot.
Yeah, Noble's always a team that's in it. Tom Reeser has that team in the mix every single year. Another team that's always in the mix and a really good young core. Phillips Andover, what's your sense on what they're going to be able to do this season?
Yeah, Andover brings a ton of firepower back, whether it's on defense, on the forward, starting goalies back as well. Ton of college commits up front. You've got Caroline Averill, her sister Maggie on defense. She's going to be a popular prospect. Sarah Powers, top goal scorer back. Lexi Mara, Peyton Kennedy. There's a lot back up front. And on D, whether it's Averill, Molly Boyle, a couple of young players that stepped up last year, ton to look at there. And then in net, Avery Roadheffer has been coming right along. She's gotten better and better each year.
Yeah, the Phillips Andover team I think is going to be one of the most exciting teams to watch this winter. One storyline I always love, and I assume everybody else also loves, is these teams that are sort of outside the Elite Eight who want to get in. Who are some of the teams you're looking at this year that can do that?
It starts with New Hampton, back-to-back small school champions, and another one of these teams that brings back so much, whether it's up front, on defense, starting on the blue line. True Thompson might be one of the best defenders in the NEPSAC. They bring in Addie Peel from Brooks, who's a really high-end defender in her own right. Question mark lies in net. They have an experienced player who's been behind Vera Lee for some time, and then a newcomer as well. So it depends on how they come along. But up front, you got Julia Laughlin, Kennedy Walker, tons of college commits as well.
So New Hampton is one team. Another interesting team is Dexter Southfield. Dexter boys are our cover of our next magazine. But the Dexter girls, what's your sense on what they have?
Yeah, Dexter, again, they started sluggish last year, went on a run, got to the large school title game, and they bring back so much. They only had 1 senior last year. They have 2 Boston College commits on the blue line, Maddie Murphy and Elena Dunn. And they also bring back their top scorer, Evelyn Doyle, who led the team scoring as a sophomore. She's a really strong 200-foot prospect.
BB&N. BB&N is a team that is always in it. They were right outside of it last year of the Elite Eight. What do you think their prospects are of getting inside the Elite Eight?
Yeah, it's another team that it's probably going to come down to goaltending. They lost their star goalie, and they lost their leading scorer as well. But again, just really a ton of depth on the blue line. 3 Division I commits, and then you also have up front. You bring back Savannah Littlewood, and then Hannah Weyerhauser is going to have a full year of health. She missed most of last season. Really explosive player.
So teams obviously want to get into the Elite Eight, but there are also teams that are further down in the playoff picture that want to move up in the large school, the small school, or even the Elite Eight. Who are some potential sleeper teams we should be watching?
Yeah, I think if you look at someone who missed the playoffs last year, Cushing is probably right at the top of the list. Missed the small school tournament by percentage points. They bring back a lot as well, whether it's top scorers like Brooke Harb or Maddie Soderquist. They got 4 college commits on defense, led by Taylor Buckley and Lily Tewksbury. And Sadie Bellissimo in net is someone that Valerie Bonabunker is really excited about to take the job this year.
So when you sort of look at the entire landscape of girls prep hockey, what's your sense? Is there 1 or 2 or 3 really good teams that are better than everybody else, or is it sort of an open field?
I think that was sort of the case last year. That top tier really separated itself from the holidays on. This year, to me, there's a lot of depth, whether it's, teams trying to crack into the Elite Eight, the Elite Eight stalwarts, or others trying to make the playoffs again. We mentioned Cushing, there's Rivers, they were in the small school tournament last year. We haven't even mentioned Groton. Lot of firepower this year.
Well, that's a good thing for girls prep hockey fans. Up next, we'll check on some of the upcoming local events and wrap things up when we come back on New England Hockey Journal. Build your rink of dreams today, no matter what the size of your backyard rink, with high-quality white rink liners from J. Freeman. Call 800-841-9442 or sales@jfreemanco.net. It's called the Friendship Four. It's an annual mid-season tournament that has been held since 2015 in Belfast, Northern Ireland. It began as a way to foster stronger relationships between the sister cities of Boston and Belfast. Each year, 4 teams are selected to participate. The BU Terriers are one of the 4.
The guys that have gone there in the past that I know have said it's an unbelievable time. You get to be away from school for a week over in Europe with all your buddies. So it should be cool. Yeah, 4 really good teams going over there. So excited to get going.
The 3 other teams taking part are Harvard, Merrimack, and Notre Dame. The tournament is November 29th and 30th. Fans of women's professional hockey don't have much longer to wait. The Boston Fleet season begins at the end of November. The team's inaugural season last year saw Boston make it to the Walter Cup Finals before losing to Minnesota. The 16th Garrett Reagan Summit takes place at the New England Sports Center in Marlborough, Mass. On Sunday, December 8th. It marks the unofficial beginning of the high school hockey season. Also later in December, the 59th annual Flood Mar Holiday Tournament hits the ice. Prep teams take center stage at the 3-day holiday event held at Milton Academy and at Nobles in Dedham. On next month's New England Hockey Journal, more from our conversation with new Cushing Academy head coach Ryan Bourque.
And I think when an opportunity comes about like this to lead a program that's so revered and really respected like Cushing Academy, it was something that I couldn't pass up and something that I was very determined to make happen. And fortunately, it turned out to come to fruition.
Finally, the latest edition of New England Hockey Journal magazine is available now. Several stories await. Is Dexter Southfield the favorite to win in boys NEPSAC this season? We examine their talented roster and their innovative plans at changing their hockey program. Meet our top 10 in boys and girls NEPSAC for the new prep hockey season. And check out our team-by-team preview. And check out our special report on the statistical truths about hockey commits. What percentage of players actually end up on the ice for the schools they originally commit to? And that's it. The first New England Hockey Journal of the season is in the books. I'm Evan Maranofsky. See you next time.
The back checker and the 2D, break it out to these guys, and then it's continuous back and forth like the normal drill.